Hey, everybody. I am going through your comprehension questions from April 28th to May 1st. I'm just going to run through these, check your answers alongside them so I don't have to give feedback to every single answer when most of them are the same feedback. Please watch this as your feedback. First off, the Oregon Treaty that you see here. This was the treaty that was between the United States and the British that set up the 49th parallel as the border between Canada and the United States. It did not extend all the way to Oregon, all the way to the Pacific Ocean when they signed it, and the United States had to fight with the British in order to get this land. Actually, they had threatened to fight with the British. They didn't actually go to conflict or anything. It ended up giving the United States their territory all along that 49th all the way to the Pacific Ocean. So it just extended it further. The Oregon Treaty was set up by James K. Polk, who was the president at the time. You'll remember him from Texas Revolution stuff when the U.S. annexed Texas. The Indian Removal Act of 1829 was when the United States, the President Andrew Jackson, forced all of the Native Americans east of the Mississippi to move west of the Mississippi River. This totaled about 60,000 people and caused many thousands of deaths. Andrew Jackson, I'm not going to mince words, was a bad person. There's no other way to put it. He did not understand the plight of people, and he thought of Native Americans as savages. He was a bad guy. There's no other way to put it. Number one, where is the American border with Canada? What is one reason the British gave up? What is one reason why the British, there we go, why the British gave up their claim to part of the Oregon Territory? This is the threat of war with the United States was basically it. President James K. Polk said, what did he say? 54 or 40 or fight. Basically saying we want the 49th parallel and everything stretching above and below it, or we're going to fight the British. Basically just trying to scare them so that they would give up the land, and they did. Number two, as America continued to expand westward, Native American tribes such as the Nez Perce, the Salish, and the Klamath, among others, were forced to move from their land onto small parts of land called reservations. At time, that land was then stolen from them. Why is this problematic? It's problematic because they stole the land. People were living there for thousands of years, and they just came in and slaughtered them by the hundreds, if not the thousands, stole the land and kicked the people off, and forced them to go 1,200 to 1,300 miles west by foot. It's not a complicated concept, okay? You cannot do that to people today. If you tried to do that to somebody, they'd be mad. People were mad back then, but it's an amazing skill to have a whole bunch of weapons that other people don't have. It's not a skill. They just had this, so the Native Americans had no choice. Number three, how could America have better served the Native population that already inhabited this land? You're going to answer that question on your own. This is opinion. Maybe don't kill them and force them off their land. That one's pretty obvious. Number four, why was the Oregon Territory so appealing to President James K. Polk? This was super appealing because there was, first off, it's a coast. So there's tons and tons of fishing, and there's going to be something on the other side of that ocean that you can trade with that it's not stated in there, but obviously the trading was appealing to him. Also, there's tons and tons of forests in there with really, really, really big redwood trees that they could cut down and turn into lumber, which is worth tons and tons and tons of money, and they did do that. Also, there's tons of waterways in from the oceans that they could use the rivers to go further east quicker than on land. And then I think I'm missing something in that territory. Gold. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of gold, which we are still mining for today. So that was a slick move. What was the Trail of Tears? How did it get its name? It's Trail of Tears because so many people died on it. Is the tears of the Native American people that died and lost family members along that trail. 60,000 people forced from east of the Mississippi to west of the Mississippi, from Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, all of them forced to move west over 1,000 miles by foot. Tons of them died along the way from starvation, exposure to the elements, disease, so on and so forth, if not just outright murder. And then finally, if President Andrew Jackson's goal was to mine for gold and provide farmland for the white settlers, how do you think he could have accomplished this goal without the forced removal of 60,000 American Indians? You need to come up with this. You should have already when this is posted. That is your opinion. There's a better way than killing people. Okay, I'm getting cut off in 15 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this now. Thank you all for watching and listening. Feel free to email me questions if you have them. Take care.